Saiah IV. What I'm expecting to happen is just endless pushing with the kudzu, and then they're just gonna put pressure on the tower with kudzu connection. Wait, sorry, entangling thorns now. I always forget about that. Old gen players understand the pain. Here's an eyes. Nice. Yeah. Monster runs proves that exactly. I'm gonna see what John buys. Extra regen. Makes sense. But this lane's definitely just gonna look to push. I do like how he's always like hugging a wall, playing the third person peeking. I do find that kind of cool, however, is they kind of contest the rooftop boxes just because there's quite a few of them over there, and it's just quite a bit. It's like a little bit of a objective to play for in the early game. The key thing in these situations is that you're always wanting to be fighting over something, and in the early game it's just these small things. So whether it's like small things like boxes, the tier 1 camp, tier 2s even, and then once it gets to the 8-minute mark, it's going to be the sinners. And then there's also the bridge buffs every 5 minutes. I like that. Due to the audio cue, he hears that someone's over here. So he calls his team over and they take this fight. They might not get the kill, but they definitely pressure him out of their jungle, which is good. And funny enough, that is kind of what I talked about in my Billy video, where I said sometimes what'll happen is Billies will just look to invade in the jungle and just steal away some of the camps. But that was good by Saiah for paying attention and listening to the surroundings. Now that the game is stabilized, I do like this small rotation from melee creeps. They rotate the ward over to the side lane, and then they put the Great Talon blue. It's just kind of a preemptive setup for the future. The other key thing is, they were landing into the Lash and Geist, which is a little bit more of a difficult situation for the Great Talon. That's just good supporting right there. But, if you pay attention to the map, the Calico's being smart about it too. And this ends up killing Ido. So, a good play that they did was scouted out beautifully by Poppers, and they end up getting the bag for it and getting the kill on Ido. So now Ido's game is a little bit rougher, and they're getting pressured pretty hard in blue. Yeah, there's the heal Nova. Great early source of burst healing. But yeah,
Let's take out Geist.
we're setting up for the bridge buff. Preemptive. Ivy just takes it because they're in the middle of a fight.
A caminar. No va a ser suficiente.
Let's take out the doorman.
Conseguiré.
Headed to blue.
And he did kind of just... It's a bit of an overextension.
Let's take out Lash.
He wanted to look for the kill on the doorman, which eventually he does die. But by going in there, he's a support. There's no reason for him to do that. The damage that you dealt is almost more worth it. Like, he could have gotten tower damage or something.
Let's push yellow.
I'll do my
I
part.
see Geist.
But right now, all he's doing is he's just picking up the empty waves. But like, he's kind of put in a precarious position because he doesn't really want to be doing the waves, but he's kind of forced to. Although he doesn't mind as much because Ivy does work pretty well with money. So, there's that.
What can I say? I'm a work of
But you'd much rather have your money on the carry. Yeah. This is really common for Ivy. So, playing around blue is just really good, or even by a side lane, and getting prio is just really good, because what'll happen is she'll pop her ult to rotate over to the fight. But yeah, Ivy was able to get the Alkfire for the Urn fight, and they definitely are looking to play for it. But you can see that FESL is kind of giving it up, just due to the positions that they're in, as well as the understanding that this is what the team comp of Melee Creeps wants to do. So instead they look for a split push, and they can end up putting pressure on John on the side lane. So instead of engaging with the Ivy ult at Urn, they use it for afterwards to collapse on the people and catch out the overextensions. Heal Bane for the green spike, as well as some great anti-heal. One of the few pliers that'll be good for on the team. You don't really want the Victor to have it as much, and the Shiv is going to be the other one that's going to be applying it. So, and you ideally want about 2 of them on your team. Sometimes 3, depending on the characters you have in the game. That's just a wild interaction. When I saw this live, I was so confused with what happened. But again, a bit of an overextension. They played the fight, and then he's still looking for stuff when there's not really anything to be played for anymore.
I see Calico.
Again, he's just picking up the waves that nobody else is picking up. Which kind of sucks.
A boon from your patron.
I see the goat.
Let's see who's still standing.
This story isn't over yet. Let's
Good stone for him. Bring him down. I like this. While the enemies are distracted with any other fight, he flies due into the Venator to take this fight.
I see. Let's take out Lash. I see Lash.
There's no way in hell that that Venator is gonna get out alive.
Great job.
Although I do think the Venator's pathing was a little bit rough. It was still a really good play from Dew and Saiah for pushing down that to the towers, and they kind of starting to out macro them here. They have the pressure on blue and they have the pressure on green. So now they have the they can dictate the pace of this game.
Let's take out Billy. I'm not finished yet.
And just like that, they get 2 walkers.
Reanimation's on cooldown.
That was a really nice macro play. They took 2 separate fights, won them both, and then were able to just win more off of it. They just flipped the entire game on its head.
Don't got time to walk.
The rejuvenator is descending.
I see the enemy.
They took the reju.
I do like how they don't contest it, but I do feel like they should have been more aware of it, of that mid boss.
They're trying to deliver the urn.
Like now, FESL just gets kind of a free earn, and they don't really have any walkers to trade off of now. And the one walker that they do have left is the earn deposit side, which makes this whole situation really, really awkward. I am kind of curious how they adapt to this. Because I doubt they'll just take the fight flat out.
Here's your chance to shake.
He now has a Spirit Spike, which is good. Greater Expansion affects literally every item he has in the or everything he has. It's fantastic, and it pairs very well with Alkfire. So yeah, they just decide to give up the urn. Yeah. So what it seems like they're doing is just they're going to be clearing the waves, playing everything super safe, and they're not going to play outside of their walkers. Especially since they don't really have much left on the map. There's not really much for FPSL to gain. So they're just playing it safe. And if they are, they're playing everything together. You can see that as they're grouped 5 on their doubles. And all Saiah was doing there was just hovering, scouting, making sure that they were safe.
Look out for Lash.
Yeah. Now that everything's just off the map, they're just playing it chill. Sitting under walkers. And the one person that's kind of off on their own has the second life.
Our walker is under attack.
I see the doorman. I
Our green walker is under attack.
See the enemy.
das mucho más que eso para matarme. Where the hell did they go?
FPSL is playing this well. I'm pretty sure they will get another, like, at least a walker off this. They're not going to get more than that, though.
Our green walker has
And that's just really good. This is what you want to do if you're in a situation like melee creeps. You would ideally want to focus one walker rather than splitting your troops, because the moment they send more people, you're just going to get rolled over with the amount of lives that they have. So even if they come out 1 for 1, they still have the rejuves, which they can then use to get the next walker. So it's better just to play under the walker and defend it as like 5 or 6. So they just give up one walker, and now FPSL doesn't really have much else to work for. Blue walker's gonna be a pain in the ass to push, and with how good of a team fight comp that they have, it's gonna be hard for them to push.
See Calico.
Our blue walker is under attack.
And just like that, the moment they show on blue, he flies someone over. And then they just force it back off. FPSL's doing a good job at trying to whittle down blue, but it's gonna be hard. Oh, I like this.
I see the enemy. I see the enemy.
Let's take a battle.
That's just great foresight. So, Saiah recognizes the vendor is pushing up the side lane alone. He's quite vulnerable. He uses the flight to fly in John, and then he immediately uses the stone form. But instead of using it to like dodge something or like use it as like a defensive, he uses it offensively and predicts where the vendor is going to go to get the stun.
Headed to Greenwich.
It's kind of a standstill. They recognize that Dorman pushes up, but it's a bit of a bait. So you guys caught. It just seems that melee crews just had a pretty solid collapse. This is just classic Ivy positioning though. They're positioned in the side lane and then going to use the flight to join the fight late.
Taking flight.
Flying over to the urn in case they contest, but it's just weird from FPSL that they don't contest.
I see Lash.
The urn is ours.
There wasn't a comeback urn, nothing. Now they're taking the fight after the urn. Good stone form to avoid the lash ult.
I see guys.
He's trying to help heal the back line. Good parry. Dies though.
I see. Let's
But yeah,
go.
I like this. Flying Ido, and the one person from that just respawned to fly to mid boss while they have the timers.
Let's go me.
So even though it was a delayed win, they were able to get the mid boss.
See Calico.
Good stun for him. Got stuck in the wall a bit. Yeah,
I see Lash.
but it's clever util usage. He uses the Alkfire after the fight, so when they're fighting in pit, they take the damage.
My revenge.
So use the Alkfire for the fight rather than the mid boss take.
They took out Saiah. You're tethered.
Let's take out Calico.
Talon is vengeful.
I see the enemy.
Hope you don't mind the pickup.
Lash.
Buys a teammate. Nice.
Without a fight. Let's take
Nice. Good way to chase. I will say though, the rest of his team is fighting really well.
Victor's sacrifice.
So it's because the rest of his team is fighting really well. Saiah doesn't have to. Saiah doesn't have to do as much in these fights. Okay, so I'm assuming what's happening is Fishcake made a comm say like, "Hey, there's a bunch of people here. They're playing for the urn." So then Saiah was like, "Okay, cool. Let's push this walker down while they're playing for this urn. So we'll just play for deposit." So they're giving up the urn pickup and possibly right bridge buff to take this walker.
Let's push your
And with Ivy Warden, they're just able to melt it. That's a nice play. That's good scouting from Fishcake too.
take out Geist.
All we
And I like how he's playing with the Warden to help him escape. Because he'd much rather give his own life than give up the Warden's.
Our blue walker is under attack.
I see Lad.
careful.
Nice Vortex Web.
Let's take out Lash.
Drown in the blood of your allies.
I see Calico.
They end up getting the urn too. A little unexpected,
I think
actually.
not.
Death brings consequences once more.
And then with the Lash being dead, like, this is gonna be a hard urn to fight, so they're just gonna give it up, and they're taking the fight at blue.
Take out Geist.
I would say this is more so just like melee creeps capitalizing on
Let's take out
the mistakes of
Calico.
a PSL. Nice. I like how he initiated with the ult, made sure that the signs hit before dropping him, so the guys can't get the swap,
I see the enemy.
and they're just doing cleanup. Like, this isn't a fancy game at all. But he shows, like, the power of having, like, the ultimate of just rotating around the map. Like, Ivy's also just really good at clearing the waves, which helped him, like, survive that first mid-boss.
I see the enemy.
Okay, he just kind of got melted there. I like how they don't greet it too hard. When the respawns come back, they just back off. And this is interesting too. What's happening is because they're using the respawn timers to take these fights.
New York is my hunting grounds. Let's take out Lash.
Hope you don't mind the pickup.
Ivy is doing whatever she
Saves Ido, heals him up, nice.
survive.
Control. We need to move as one.
That is so greedy from Ido.
You learn your lesson, Lash?
He honestly kind of deserves that one.
Let's go, mate.
This is a good mid call. FPSL has just been staggering. This game's been very sloppy after this point. Wait, okay, so they decided against the mid call. And they're just looking to steal the jungle instead. I don't mind this as much. If they did anything else, I'd be complaining a lot more. But this isn't as bad. They're suffocating FPSL, just building their own lane. And then they're probably going to use the money advantage from this to take the fight at mid. Right. So there's posturing for a fight.
There's the crazy cat lady. Need a lift?
I see the enemy.
Now that's
I see Lash.
You work well with others, Ivy.
I see
look
Calico.
at I see Calico.
There's a good initiation. They got a good pick onto the Billy right away. And then they're slowly just staggering their lives away. I would expect them to do a split. Yeah, so John already is going back to mid-boss to start doing it.
See Venator.
Good Vortex about to pull the Venator back in.
Let's go mid. They're in mid.
You're just keeping them busy. Nice.
See Venator.
Now is your chance.
They're in mid.
But yeah. Because they're all dead, they're doing a split. So League went back, or... Yeah, it is League in this game. So League went back to go cover the waves. John and Do went to go do mid, and the rest of them are just taking the shrines. So this way that they're actually able to just end the game here. Because if they don't do the split otherwise, what's going to happen is they're going to have to push through the base and after they have the rejuves, and it's going to give the enemies time to respawn. Because as you see, they already are low, like have the lower cooldowns from the patron going down. And so they're just going to reset, buy, and now they have 3 rejuves to just run into the base and kill them all. Heroic Aura is very underrated.
Reanimation's on cooldown.
Especially with how much their team just wants to run at people. The extra movement speed and bullet resist that it gives is just really helpful.
Let's take out Lash.
Especially into how gun focused FPSL's comp is.
Ready to fly?
And they don't mind giving up the urn just to take the fight. Because they know that this fight just ends the game. So even though they lose the urn, they hard win the fight. Without using a single rejuve, and there you go. It's gonna be GG's.
I see the enemy.
Good game.
Last ditch effort from low main. That's GG's.